Hello, I'm Tofari,
CK!
Knight Rider.
and we're here to talk about Smackdown. First and foremost, why the fuck is, what's his name? Joseph Vick.
From NXT.
Yeah. Why is he, because yesterday it was Corey and the other dude whose name we can't be bothered to remember.
Joe Tessitore or something like
the
that.
guys whose name we can't be bothered to remember wasn't there for whatever reason.
He had a prior engagement to do something else. I don't remember what it was. But anyway.
And instead of bringing Corey up to do SmackDown, they bring up the other guy from NXT.
Joseph Vick.
Yeah, Joseph Vick. So once again, I can't be bothered remembering their names.
Why in the hell do we not get Corey? Why are they trying to bury Corey? Is it because he spoke out?
Oh, 100%. And like I said last night, it's because if they brought Corey up to the main roster, then people would realize, damn, Corey's way fucking better than these other assholes we've got. And then they'd want Corey on the main roster, but they don't want to do that for some fucking reason because they're dumbasses and they don't like money. I don't know. They're stupid.
But then we started the show off with Cody Rhodes saying, now that Jay has pretty much called his shot at WrestleMania, he knows where his path is at.
Yeah, now I've got to look towards WrestleMania, Am I
going through Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, am I going to be facing... am I going to be facing... And the fact that he said this made me lose so much respect for him, but I know it was for, promotions and whatnot. He said, the most... I can't remember his exact wording, but he was basically sucking Logan Paul off, so that's just automatic 5...
Tafari.
Minus 5 respect for that. But anyway, he's like, am I going to be facing Logan Paul at WrestleMania? Am I going to be facing my friend CM Punk? Am I going to be facing... the greatest of all time, John Cena.
Or am I going to be facing Drew McIntyre? He kind of blew it off.
Yeah.
And then Drew's music hits, and he's, instantly on defensive.
Yeah, he comes out then and he's like...
Drew Crybaby.
Yeah, Drew McIntyre. He's like, and Drew McIntyre? And it was a whole thing.
You need to say my name. I'm a former world champion. I'm
all this and that and the kit and caboodle.
And so Cody's
all that in a bag.
Like, okay, fine. And the former world champion, and it's like, really? Are we catering to... And Drew's like, nope, that wasn't good enough.
Yeah. He's like, the same Drew McIntyre who was out here a month ago who tried to hug you and you wanted to fight me. The same Drew McIntyre who... Blah, 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 blah. A bunch of bullshit. And then Jacob comes out there.
Which, again, A+.
Oh, yeah. Like we said time and time again, he A+ on the promotions every single time.
His promos are fantastic.
Yes.
But he comes out there, he's like, you forgot about me. I'm going to win tonight, which we'll get into later. I'm going to win tonight. I've got a match against Priest and Strowman.
And I'm going to dog walk their asses.
Yeah, I am all brake. I'm all gas, no brake.
Yeah.
And I love that. That is like his whole thing going forward. It's freaking amazing.
I'm stealing that, by the way. Just so you know. I know he'll never see this, but I'm stealing that. When I eventually get into boxing or wrestling or wherever I decide to go, I'm stealing that.
Fair enough, Tafari. Anyway, and then on the Titantron, you see a car pull up and you really don't see who is driving, which was really rare.
I'm pretty sure it was Solo.
No. I know. I'm getting to that.
Oh.
But you really don't get a view of who's driving it until he steps out of the car. I mean, you get, when they pull up, you get a close-up view of it. But when they show it coming up, you're like, who is this?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it wound up being Solo, and Cody gets ready to get out of the ring, and Jacob's like, no.
If anybody's gonna have words with Solo, I'm gonna get, it's gonna be me.
Word.
Yeah, you know, if
And-
some family business.
And Cody's like, I get next.
Yeah.
Yep.
You can get the first word, but I'm gonna get the last word.
Yeah.
Type shit. And then him and Tama storm off to go and find Solo.
Throwing shit, pushing people.
Yeah, okay, look, like, here's the thing. Here's the thing. I get what they're going with Jacob being, you know, a wild animal. Why the fuck you gotta go beating up just some random dude in the back just sitting there?
You want to know what? One of the guys I watch, which I'm gonna flat out tell you guys. You guys can go watch him. I ain't got no problem. I cover like the Ango show. That's who I watch for a lot of my rumor stuff, and Wrestling Days. Wrestling Days is like, so this guy has a wrestling contract. When's he debuts? And the thing is because if you look, like, the security guards, the guys that they push around, are all like developmental wrestlers. Whatever. They're not hired security.
No.
They're on the WWE payroll. They get thrown around. Hey, we're gonna put you in a security guard shirt.
And get
You're gonna go out and get beat up by these guys to earn your props, you know,
Shit.
whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, there's footage of like the early 2000s and stuff with like LA Knight out there in security shirt
Yeah.
with no beard, mustache, everything, but you can tell it's LA Knight.
Yeah. Shit, maybe that's where I'll end up one day.
You know, even Braun Breaker
Yeah.
was on NXT. He started off as a security guard. I don't remember what match or whatever it was, but he came out as a security guard, and everyone knew exactly who the hell he was.
Mm-hmm.
So they, like, instantly had to just jump him.
Yeah.
Like, everyone's like, holy crap, that's Rick Steiner's son.
Mm-hmm.
And it got out really, really quick. Like, because he's famous. Like,
yeah.
his dad is, like, one of the elites of the tag team division.
Yeah.
You know, it's like having your dad be, you know, Ric Flair. And
Yeah, I was just about to say that,
you know, you automatically, and again, we're going to get into the whole Charlotte thing, that this is, I'm not happy about it.
But yeah, let's
We're going to get to that, but the thing I'm getting at is, you know, getting back to that.
Yeah, let's get back on track. We like squirrel brains.
Well, okay. We're going to get into that after. We're changing, if you're watching this long, we are changing our format a little bit, our schedule, and what we actually do.
Yeah.
We seem to get more popular with our wrestling stuff. Even though we're breaking down and whatever with our wrestling, we seem to be doing better with that. So we're still going to play our games, but we're going to have a lot more random stuff and a lot more wrestling.
Yeah.
And there, we're going to do more of this format that you're seeing now. Just talking. Because that seems to be where we feel like we're better and we have more of a connection when we're all together talking. And we really like talking to, like, you guys and the people that do pop up ask us more about, you know, if we're watching this program or this program. So we're going to try to watch more wrestling than what we do and start just going at it full force.
Yeah.
So we are trying to figure out what shows are going to be our primaries, but we are 100% WWE all the way.
Yeah, that's gonna be our primary. If something else gets in the way, it gets put on the
push
sideline.
aside.
But anyway, back
Okay.
on track. After that,
We had Naomi, Chelsea.
It was
I'm going to say this. You have Chelsea Green, the greatest United States Women's Champion of all time. The longest reigning.
yeah, she's a lot like Roman Reigns in that sense.
Exactly.
I mean, you saw.
Guys, I am not a fan of Chelsea by no stretch.
Yo,
okay?
look,
I do it just to
that
poke.
match was once again, Chelsea is a fucking joke.
Exactly.
If you've been following wrestling for any amount of time, you know who Chelsea Green is. She's a goddamn joke. And like I've said, shut up. Like I've said time and time again.
I was gonna be legit. I'm serious. I was gonna be legit. She was getting her butt kicked in the ring, but hey, Piper was there to fan her. Okay.
Oh, I forgot.
Piper cooled her off.
Okay, so y'all don't seem to understand this. If you watched wrestling last night, you probably know what we're talking about. Chelsea is getting her ass whooped. Who could have seen that coming? It's almost like she can't wrestle. Yeah, and she's, hanging over, like, the bottom rope after getting her ass whooped. And Piper comes up and is like fanning her. It's like, if you're gonna do the whole bit of, like, oh, why not bring an actual fan? Like, one of those, like, $2...
fan,
yeah, like a $1 paper fan, rather than... Cool down, you're gonna be okay. Like, what the fuck is that? And I honestly think it's just to make her even more of a joke than she already is, which is...
hard?
Yeah, it's a difficult... It's an...
Guys, like I said, I truly poke fun at these two with all that, but it is legit. Like, I do not like Chelsea.
And once again, people wonder why
Green is not
she can't wear
wrestling material.
No, and I hate to say that because that's the thing about a lot of these people who are like in this position is like Chelsea Green probably is actually at least a decent wrestler.
But it's a character.
Yeah, it's the character, and people wonder why the women's division on the main roster is subpar at best. Meanwhile, the women's division on NXT is blowing everything else out of the water. Like, the women's division on NXT is equal, if not slightly above, the men's division on the main roster. Like, it really is night and day. So, I really truly hope that Chelsea loses that title. She loses it soon, and we get and I know we're skipping ahead a bit, but like, I hope we get a women's United States champion like LA Knight, in the sense that they're out there defending that title every single week. Those are the champions I want to see. I don't want to see Roman Reigns. I don't want to, and don't get me wrong, Gunther is a phenomenal champion. But I don't want to see champions out here defending once a month, once every 2-3 months, whatever. I want to see champions who are out here, because fucking 5+ years away. But if I were to ever get into any kind of wrestling, boxing, whatever, and I had a title, you bet your ass I'd be out there every week defending it. That's the kind of champion I want to see. Not...
Fair enough, buddy.
Not this garbage. Anyway, yeah. Chelsea Green gets her ass whooped. She loses. Who could have guessed? Naomi goes to Elimination Chamber. So now, for the Women's Elimination Chamber, we have Naomi, Alexa Bliss, Liv Morgan, Bianca Belair, and Bayley. And the final match is going to be on Raw, which will be Roxanne Perez. I burped.
Oh, okay.
Roxanne Perez versus Raquel Rodriguez, which is going to be...
That's going to be a pretty good match.
Yeah.
But like I said, it is like 8 feet tall versus 4 foot.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know that's drastic, because I think, Raquel is like 6'1", something like that?
Yeah.
And I think Perez is like right under, like, 5'8". Hey, Google. How tall is Roxanne Perez?
I don't know, but I found these results on search.
She's short. We'll put it at that. Hang on. I'm gonna... How tall is Roxanne Perez? 5'1". So, like...
How tall is Raquel?
How tall is Raquel Rodriguez? 6'2". So, 13 inches of difference.
Yeah. Like, it's a significant difference.
But, like I've said before, we've had Rey Mysterio versus Ryback,
We've had Rey Mysterio versus Big Show.
Yeah. We, not quite the same, but we had Hulk Hogan versus... Now, Hulk Hogan's not a little guy, but we've had Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant. And then again, Andre the
Slam
Giant.
heard around the world.
Yeah, like it doesn't. You could be 3 foot. You could be 3 feet tall, fighting an 8 foot motherfucker in the WWE and destroy them. It's story, but it will be a very interesting match.
And a lot of people are saying that. Now, I don't know if I agree or disagree, and I don't have it in here. But a lot of people are saying Rodriguez is on the main roster. Like, this is her official first match of the main roster.
I guess it would be, yeah.
So
Wait, Roxanne or we're
Roxanne Perez.
Yeah, okay.
She's been on NXT.
yeah. This would be her first match on the main roster. So yeah.
So a lot of people don't see her losing it, which is usually right.
Yeah.
But I also don't see her losing it fairly.
Yeah.
I think Liv Morgan wants Raquel in there, and she's going to do everything in
Obviously.
her power to keep her little shadow in
Oh,
there.
100%. You know what would be interesting? And I don't see it happening, but what would be interesting is, and I know, like I said, I know it's not going to happen because they're beefing, but have Bailey come out and take care of Liv, not to help Roxanne, but because, she's smart enough to realize if Liv and Raquel are in the Elimination Chamber, shit's going to go sideways for everybody else.
I agree.
I don't see that happening because, like I said, her and Roxanne are beefing, but it'd be an interesting way to go about it. Or at least somebody show up and be like, no. We aren't having you two jackholes in the Elimination Chamber together.
Yeah. But think about it, we do have now Bianca and Naomi.
Yep.
That is true.
And they are beefing with Liv and Raquel anyway.
That's true. I guess
And I do believe they have a title shot
they do.
on Raw coming up, I think.
Yeah. It's on Raw, I'm pretty sure. Because when is it next Saturday is Elimination Chamber?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I guess, yeah, next Saturday because it's Saturday right now. So, yeah. But
So, yeah, then we get to an update which was actually posted on his X
yeah.
right before wrestling debut, or before SmackDown started.
Mm-hmm.
But they showed it during, and it was basically Sami Zayn giving an update, on that his pain is like intense in his neck.
Yeah, like he's saying,
back,
I've had nerve damage. I've been
and that this could be a career ending, but he's gonna fight through it.
Yeah.
He's gonna make sure he comes back because this was the end.
This was different because
we've had our fights before. I
Yeah.
have fought with
Yep.
you many times.
I believe he said it was how did he word it? He said it seems that all our relationship is us fighting each other, whether it's Kevin turning on me or me turning on Kevin. But this was different. This wasn't getting ahead. This wasn't getting even. This was Kevin trying to end my career.
Yeah. And he is like, our friendship's done.
Yeah.
And which, again, those two have been like buddies since like the 5th grade, if I remember hearing.
Yeah,
stories
like they're like we've said time and time again, they could be the worst of, and like, for example, I could be wrong, but like Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley, for example, they probably get along just fine backstage.
Well, okay, prime example of when I can see her face. Shayna was fighting with Bianca and Naomi. I showed you the video of them backstage with Shayna Baszler with Naomi's hair on doing dancing and stuff with them.
Yeah.
Just goofing off.
Yeah.
And they were in the middle of a rivalry on camera.
Like I said, it's all storyline. Now, obviously, like we've said, like with Seth Rollins and CM Punk, for example, they genuinely don't like each other. but that's far and few between. Most of them get along just fine.
At least friendly high buys.
Yeah,
Because
at
even
least.
Maven, who I watch on YouTube on a regular basis, is like, there is legit beef back there.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you that everybody gets along, but majority, it's
At least a working relationship.
yeah, a hi, bye, how are you? Oh, I'm fine. Okay, me too, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Other ones, yeah, they have relationships. They are best friends. They go hang out at bars together.
Yeah.
It's generally a workplace.
Yeah,
like even at McDonald's, it's the same idea.
Yeah.
For you.
You're going in doing your 9 to 5, and I know they don't do 9 to 5, but you get the point.
But you have relationships in there.
Yeah.
You have people you're like, yeah, hi, how are you?
Yeah.
But then you have people,
And then you have the people like, God damn it, why the fuck do I have to see your bitch ass face today?
and then you have the people that you're like, hey, let's go play D&D. Let's go hang out. Let's go to the bowling alley.
Exactly, right.
It's the same thing for them.
Yeah.
And people don't understand that. This is story for them.
Yeah, they're
pretty
actors.
But yeah, he tried to end his career with the package pile driver. That this is different. That when he comes back, the first thing he's gonna do is face Kevin. Him and Kevin Owens are gonna have a face off.
Oh yeah.
And that we'll get into that later.
Mhm.
Oh, come on. There you go. Our little
yeah.
mascot here trying to be...
Then we have Jacob confronting Solo Sikoa backstage, finds him in his...
the locker room.
In his locker room, and comes up, like, you got some explaining to do. And Solo says, I let y'all down. I had to take a break. Because after I lost the Ulafala, I let this family down. Do you know how that feels? I let you down. I let Tama down. I let the entire family down. But we can make this work. The only way we're gonna do that is together. That starts with you going and qualifying, going to Elimination Chamber, and bringing that title back to this family.
And remember,
Exactly.
I love you,
Yeah.
Jacob.
Well, because Jacob just basically start to walk off, like, I'm tired of your bullshit, and he grabs him by the arm. Solo grabs Jacob, grabs him by the arm, and like, Jacob, I love you. And Jacob just sort of like looks down at his arm. He lets go, and then he just walks off.
Yeah.
No.
Tonga follows like a little puppy.
No, I love you. No, nothing.
He barely even said anything.
Yeah.
That was what was like.
Oh my goodness, you're so spoiled. But yeah, like we've said, I want to see him go off on his own. And especially, I know, I don't want to spoilers, not really, but, like, after what happened at the main event, there's going to be some family drama.
Oh, yeah.
Now, this is something I want you to take a back seat to, Tabari. I know you saw it, but you can read it. But, you're just not going to know. Michelle McCool got into the Hall of Fame, so she's number 2. We had Triple H, now Michelle McCool. There is a lot of people saying that Michelle McCool does not deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. That she wasn't that good a wrestler, blah, blah, blah. That she's only entering the Hall of Fame because she's The Undertaker's wife. On the other end of that, which is where I'm at, she did so much for this women's division when she was there.
Yep. She brought the women's division where it is
Because
today.
you have to understand this, that when she was there, the women barely got one match a week
Exactly.
or on a show.
Exactly.
Now they're dominating NXT.
Yep.
They're doing 2 and 3 women matches. They've got the Women's Evolution or the Elimination Chambers. They've got
The Royal Rumbles, the Money in the Banks.
Yeah, they've got all of these. Women have now main evented WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Exactly.
They have main evented pay-per-views.
Yep.
That when Michelle McCool was doing this, that wasn't even thought.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
So you have to understand that without Michelle McCool, without the Laylas, the Trish Stratuses, the Litas, the countless other ones, the Mickey Jameses, we would not be where we're at today.
No.
So here's what I'm going to say.
Wouldn't.
Here's what I'm going to tell you. If you are on the side that says Michelle McCool does not need to be in the Hall of Fame, you're fucking wrong. And I hate to say it that way, but go back and look at history. Because if she would not have been here,
wrestling wouldn't have even...
The women's would have been done. They would have wadded it up and thrown it away.
Exactly.
She was one of the
pioneers,
the founding members of the women's locker room.
Yep, exactly.
So I mean,
should have been one fighting for the locker room.
Well, one of them, but yeah, okay. Back to enough of my ranting because we literally have like an hour and a half before Vengeance Day. So we're gonna try to get through this kind of quick, but we know how we are, so it's gonna be really slow. But anyway. Then we had the Motor City Machine Guns and Los Garza, however they say it. Los Guerreros.
Yeah, it was kind of a
Yeah, it was okay, but
it wasn't like
again. It's just this whole thing of like Los Guerreros is getting really good in the ring. Like you were really starting to see their chemistry. And again, I personally, my opinion, I think with them being. I know Motor City Machine Guns won.
Mm-hmm.
But here's my thing, and we know how I feel.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
The Motor City Machine Guns are well overrated. And in my opinion, and this is coming from a lot of other sources I look at, Los Guerreros is crushing it right now. Like, they showed them up pretty damn good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, their tag team moves, everything were just spot on.
Mm-hmm.
But, of course, Motor City Machine Guns, ooh, they're great. And like I said, I don't have a problem with them. I just think that they are...
Past their prime.
No. And it's sad that they got into WWE when I think they were on their way out. If that doesn't sound bad.
No, I getcha.
I wish they would have got in 5 years ago or whatever and shown what they could do. But now I think they're heading towards the end. They, as AJ Styles put it a while back, they have more behind them than they do in front.
Yeah.
And I think now we're just trying to give them one last big
hurrah,
and it happens to be in WWE, and I hate that.
Yeah.
Because back when they were wrestling in TNA, they were great. I loved them in TNA when they were originally there.
Mm-hmm.
Then we get Shinsuke in the ring, which that was a mess.
Yeah.
I mean, he's like, I've been in the shadows for weeks now, which we've brought up.
Yeah, he's just been back there watching for,
different with Miz talking, with LA Knight talking, with Priest talking. You keep seeing him in the background of.
And he comes out there and says, I've been in the shadows for weeks now,
searching for a warrior.
Yeah, searching for a warrior, a worthy challenger, and I found nothing. And then LA Knight comes out and it's like, yeah, well, you telling two truths and a lie there. Yeah, you've been sneaking around in the shadows, but you're not looking for a worthy challenger. Because last time we stepped foot in the ring together, I was this close to pinning you for that 3 count, and then, it took the whole fucking island of Samoa to come in and kick my ass and cost me that match.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you have... the Miz. The A-lister. And his wonderful...
Good on mic, but that's about it.
His wonderful... Again, everybody is talking about how great of an actor he really is. And it was pretty funny. Yeah. But he comes out there, and LA Knight's like, you haven't ever been relevant
Yeah, it's like the last time you had a title was like 10 years ago, and I'm pretty sure that's also how long it's been since you were relevant. Like, here's the thing, you can say Miz is a great actor, but LA Knight was tearing him the fuck apart that entire promotion.
And then what was so funny is Miz comes in there. He's like, "You're right. I'm not relevant anymore. I've never been relevant." And he's like doing this whole like fake tears, everything.
He's like, "You said last week it was okay for men to cry."
And he's like, "No, I didn't. You're taking the words I said out of context."
It's like, I did say that, but when it gets to a certain point, because when we're talking about the biggest crybaby bitches of all time, it's gotta be Drew McIntyre and your sorry ass neck and neck for greatest of all time.
I love LA Knight. Has got some good promos. He's had some that are but I said, he's usually like spot on.
Like I said, he was tearing Miz apart all night last night, both on the mic and in the ring. Like Miz,
that was the thing too, which we can go ahead and get to that now. Nick comes down. He's like, "So you both want a shot?"
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I say we do it right now.
Mm-hmm. Doing his goddamn job, unlike a certain bald idiot on Raw.
And so he's like, "So you both want a title shot? Fine. For the title." I don't know if he ever set a date.
I don't think so, no. I think they just...
For the number one contendership. I know he said for the number one contendership. Miz versus LA Knight. And that match starts...
right now.
Now.
Yeah. It was not even close. It really
Miz had a couple shots, but it was...
He got, like I said, LA Knight... I'm gonna take a word out of... I'm gonna take another word out of... not Solo's. Jacob's book. He was dog walking Miz all fucking night. On the mic, in the ring. Like, he embarrassed him bad.
I don't have this written down, but I'm gonna say this, and we'll get to the idea of it a little later. But there is talk that Miz needs a group.
Yes.
And there is talk of the group that's finally going to pull Miz in and...
Oh, God. No, they're on Raw.
No, not them.
Oh.
We'll get to it in a little bit, because there's a whole thing I want to bring up.
Okay.
With it. Remind me when we get to the Alexa. Because I don't think I wrote it down. But what was really cool... Oh yeah, I can go ahead and bring it up now. I see where I'm at. I can bring it up now because it actually happened during his match. There was a glitch, which I didn't notice. It was just like a quick blip of a glitch.
Yeah.
And in that glitch was a reference to Revelations 22:10, which we know the Wyatts have been really big into, like the biblical signs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Revelations 22:10 says, "Then he said to me, do not hide the words of God's prophecy. They are written in his book. The time is near when those things will happen." And we know the Wyatts were kind of tracking Miz
for a while, yeah. And that's why he got involved in...
the Final Testament. So I'll go ahead and bring this up here. If you know anything about NXT from a couple years back, which I was watching kind of hit and miss, Dexter was in a family group with DIY, Candice LeRae, and Indy Hartwell. Indy Hartwell is now gone.
Mm-hmm.
So, if we bring Miz into a new family group with DIY and Candice LeRae and Nia Jax,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think any of them would get along.
they're all heels.
Yeah, that's kind of all they have in common, though.
But if the Wyatts start attacking DIY, which is rumored,
Mm-hmm.
they're already attacking Miz or have attacked Miz.
Yeah.
You unite them. Candice is married to Johnny Gargano.
Yeah.
In real life, that is fact.
Yeah.
So you have those two united, and then Nia and Candice are a tag team, which you would have Nikki and Alexa.
Yeah.
So it evens itself out.
I suppose so.
And it would defend Dexter
Mm-hmm.
being part of the old family and now his new family who are embracing him, whatever.
Exactly.
Then it cuts to backstage.
Yeah.
Again, where we were heading with this. It cuts to backstage with Nia and Candice. And Alexa, they're kind of talking, you know, like, what happened, what's going to happen, you know, that she's going to go in and destroy Tiffy.
Yeah. And then Alexa
Yeah.
comes up and she's like, I hope, you know, me and Lily were thinking, I hope you do better than in your match against Tiffy than Candice did last week.
Because, you know, I would like to face you and kind of get back to what we never did get to do.
Yeah.
The whole match at WrestleMania thing, because they were kind of on the same page for a while when they were both like heels.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the glitch happens again, and it's an anagram that says, "Do you feel in charge?" And a flash of Bray holding his hand over whichever hand it was. I don't remember which hand was heel and which hand was hurt.
Mm-hmm.
But the heel hand over Alexa's face to like heal her from all of her stuff. So you had that kind of whole thing going on. So then they showed a flash of a scene. One of the last times we saw Alexa was with Bray and or not Bray, Uncle Howdy and Alexa.
In the firefight.
In the ring when the ring was dark. But this time it was different. It was all black with just the fireflies. And in the picture you saw the Wyatt 6 symbol, which was not there originally. It was photoshopped in.
Mm-hmm.
So what people are saying that we know she's going to join, we just don't know if it's going to be Elimination Chamber,
Right.
after Elimination Chamber, or even after Mania or before Mania.
Yeah.
Where is this? We know it's going to happen.
We just don't know when.
We just
Yeah.
don't know
Yep,
when.
Exactly.
It could be any time. We have no idea.
And then you had Truth down to the ring, which I don't have this, but we're going to get to a little more of this in a second. Because this was just freaking great.
Yeah. Truth comes down to the ring.
Truth comes down to the ring. There was
They had a little.
they had a little tiff earlier, but
Yeah.
they don't cut to that right away.
No.
They tell you that him and Mello have a match coming up. They think they go to a commercial, come back, and it's Andrade talking to Miz. And this was beautiful too. Andrade's like, "Yeah, I watched your match.
I could teach you a few things.
I could teach you a few things." And Miz like, "I don't need your help." Yeah. And then Carmelo comes up. I guess walking to the ring.
Yeah.
Carmelo comes up. And Miz is like, "You know, we could do good things together."
Oh yeah, because Carmelo says he's like, you know, guys like that, they don't respect talent like us. And Miz is like, you know, yeah, you're right, they don't respect us. But me and you, We could do great things together. We could make a great team. Melo don't miss. And then Carmelo just sort of like looks at him and walks away.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
Yeah.
But then they cut to the little blooper backstage, and Carmelo.
The not blooper, but the
tiff.
It aired thing from earlier.
Yeah.
And it's Truth coming into the locker room talking to Melo. Go ahead.
Melo is back there getting his hair cut because I guess he's, I don't know, whatever. And Truth comes in, Melo gets up and he's like, you know, I'm sorry about your boy, brains down. Tozawa, you know, I just had to show him that I was him. And Truth is like, him? No, your name was Carmelo. And he's like, no, I had to show not Tommaso, fuck. You just said his name. Tozawa. My brain's still scrambled from work. Excuse me. It's like I had to show Tozawa that I'm him. And he's like, no. Your mother named you Carmelo. Tozawa's mother named him Tozawa. And it's this whole thing back and forth. And, you know, Carmelo's like, man, you think you can make a fool of me? How about I make a fool of you out in that ring? And I'll show you that I'm him. And then he walks away. And he's like, and Truth is still like, no, man, your name's Carmelo.
And like I said, Truth is just so funny. I absolutely love Truth. Anytime that man is on camera, you guarantee it's going to be golden.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Solid gold.
Yep.
That dude is fantastic.
The match, yeah.
It was pretty much a beatdown by Carmelo. You
wanna know what the crazy part is? The announcers were like, you know, this losing streak that Carmelo picked up recently might have been the worst thing for this locker room, because Carmelo hasn't missed since. And I'm like, he's fought Tommaso and R-Truth, and I love my boy Truth, but in the ring, he's like a B minus.
Maybe a C+,
yeah,
but he is good in the ring. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
but he's not.
He on that mic.
He's gold.
Yeah, but like they're acting like, oh, Carmelo's, you know, going on like building momentum. It's like, what are you talking about? You've beaten Tommaso Ciampa and R-Truth. I don't think anybody's impressed by that. No. Except him, obviously. He's impressed with himself.
Of course he is.
Because he's him, and he doesn't miss. Except when he missed, and then he missed again. Anyway.
Then you had the Street Profits basically cutting a promo like everybody's on notice. If you're in our way,
we're taking your asses out, basically.
Yeah, and
it was pretty good. It was.
And here's the thing. Everyone's saying that the Street Profits have turned heel. I like this image that they're giving off. I'm not gonna say I like the heel persona.
I won't even say it's really heel.
But I like this persona that they're coming off as. Like, you know what?
Like,
we don't care.
Yeah.
If you're not
with us, you're against us. You know.
And everybody's against us. So,
like they always say, we want the smoke. I vibe with it. I'm interested to see what they do in the ring.
And then it cuts to DIY Pretty Deadly backstage, and they're doing their normal arguing.
Yeah, DIY's like, we were so good to you, blah 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 blah. DIY's like, no. DIY's like, no, the hell you weren't. We finally.
Pretty Deadly, you mean?
Yes. Brain's still scrambled. Excuse me.
Go ahead.
But Pretty Deadly's like, you weren't good to us. We finally stood up for ourselves, and then bald guy.
Tommaso.
I thought that was the name, but I was getting it mixed up with Tonga and all that. Tommaso Ciampa's like, next week after our match, we're gonna have a moment of silence for your careers.
Yeah, because they apparently have a tag title match for next week.
Yeah, I mean they did beat DIY. That's why the whole match happened. So,
which they started with too. That they caught them with their pants down, and he goes, and this was the great thing. Pretty Deadly's like, no, you had your pants on. They go, that's the problem. We had our pants on. You know I don't wrestle in pants.
Exactly.
And it was like, oh my god. It was them. I think, and like a lot of people are saying, this is the full flip. That we have finally got what I've been saying, Pretty Deadly, coming off as 100% the faces.
Oh yeah, obviously. I mean, DIY has been heels ever since they turned on the machine guns. So.
Yeah. Exactly.
And then you have the
Kevin Owens responds, and it's just
it's more of his
usual bullshit.
His ranting in his own brain,
Yeah.
which is
Nonsense.
nonsense. Yeah. But he's like, you know, you think you know what pain is. You don't know what pain is, Sammy.
Yeah, you don't know what it's.
I've had 3 friends stab me in the heart. And it's like, really?
Yeah.
You know, you and Cody and Orton, I trusted you. You are my friends, my closest friends, and you've all turned on me. That hurts more than what I've ever could have done to you. And it's like,
I don't know about that one. I'm pretty sure severe spinal compression hurts pretty damn bad. But then he goes on to say, you know, the next time we go head to head, I'll show you what pain really means. Meet me in Toronto.
where it all started.
Yeah, cleared or not, meet me at Elimination Chamber. So that's obviously not going to be a match, but I feel like it's just going to be.
I think it's going to be a match. They're going to have to rush it, but I think it's going to. There's even talk that it might be an unsanctioned match, kind of like what we're getting tonight with the
with
Vaughn,
Eddie, Javon and Eddie Thor, not Eddie Thor.
Ethan Page.
Yeah, Ethan Page.
So we are getting better with the names on NXT.
I'm never gonna be good. I can barely remember my own name half the time.
We are getting better with those. So we are going to start covering NXT on a regular basis. I don't know if it's going to be on Wednesday, but we're definitely going to start covering it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But and then we have Nia versus Tiffany title match. Honestly, great match.
Yeah, Nia was beating her pretty bad.
Well, we expected that. It's Nia Jax versus Tiffany Stratton. We were expecting Tiffany to get her ass whooped. But, like you said, it's always that comeback, you know?
But Tiffy kept kicking out. Like, I mean, every time Nia put her in anything, anything that should have just been, like, bone crushing, Tiffy kicked out.
Yep. And she kept coming back and coming back. And at near the end of the match,
Candice.
well, I'm saying that I forget how exactly it happened, but she was up on the top rope. Nia knocks her off, goes for the Annihilator, but the momentum carries her out of the ring, so Nia misses. Tiffy goes back in the ring, you know, kicks her or something, and gets ready to do the prettiest moonsault. And then Candice LeRae just comes up and, like, grabs her head and just slams her onto the ring apron. Like,
In front of the ref.
yeah, once again, just like last week, or was it Monday, with the Creed brothers. What the fuck was the plan there? Sure, you beat Tiffy up. You hurt her real bad. You still don't have the title, though.
Exactly.
You accomplished nothing. I highly doubt Nick Aldis is going to go and hand Nia Jax another title opportunity after she just botched her last one.
Exactly.
But I don't think that was the best part of all that.
Well, no, we obviously haven't gotten to what happens after.
Because, I mean, they were in the ring beating the shit out of Tiffy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Tiffy was getting pretty much beat up. And over the barricade jumps Trish.
Oh, yeah.
Who was out in the ring, you know, or out and watching. They had announced her earlier. I don't think I put it in there. But they had announced that she was in the stadium earlier. And she's like, yeah, I don't know how I'm going to be at the Rumble or at Elimination Chamber. I don't know if I'm going to be up in a suite,
Or
backstage,
in a seat.
in
yeah.
a seat.
And
then she jumped over the barricade and started attacking Nia and
Candice. And then gets flattened in the ring corner.
Yeah, with the
Just
The
basic,
smack- yeah.
just Nia running fucking into her, basically.
And then they kind of both go up the ramp, you
Mhm.
know, whatever. Trish gets out,
And
I
then
guess goes back to her seat.
Yeah.
And then Charlotte's music hits. She comes down to the ring, grabs a chair,
Yeah.
sits right next to Tiffy, and is like, Tiffy,
Wake
Tiffy,
up.
wake up, it's your queen, blah,
Mm.
blah, blah. And, you know,
She just
and
gets...
Tiffy kind of starts rolling over, kind of looks up at her, and she's like,
The queen chooses you.
yeah, the queen.
I'll see you at WrestleMania.
And drops the mic and walks away. And
Yeah.
Tiffy's still just like laying there like...
Just got the hell beat out of her,
Yeah,
yeah.
has that half-dazed look like, I know what just happened, but my brain hasn't quite caught up yet
Mhm.
to what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Exactly.
too busy trying not to, die here.
Yep. Exactly.
And they show Nick backstage, and Naomi and Bianca walk in. He says, or come in. He says, there's something in development. I got a development in the Jade story.
Oh, yeah, this was so stupid.
There's a video, and this is what everybody's talking about. And I missed it, and I've seen a video on it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look at Naomi's face, her eyes get really big, and she looks really, really scared.
Mm-hmm.
Like, a lot of people are like, she goes, and has that look on her face.
Yeah.
Like,
oh,
oh no,
shit.
what video are they about to show? But they show Liv and Raquel walking away from
The ambulance.
The ambulance, which was, like they said, 5 to 10 minutes after the event happened.
Yeah, like it, and
And it literally just shows them walking backstage by the ambulance. They're not even laughing, doing
Yeah.
anything.
they're just like, oh shit, there's an ambulance there,
There's no reaction, nothing. Like,
Yeah. It was a big nothing burger, honestly.
Exactly.
But Naomi's like, she instantly says, yeah, everybody thinks it's me. See? It was Liv and Raquel. And I'm sorry, I 100% believe that this is BS.
Oh, obviously. Like we've said time and time again. It was either Naomi and Bianca or just Naomi on her own. She's gained a tag team title out of it, for fuck's sake. I mean, like I said, I would love to see, you know what would be fucking wonderful? I know how we were talking about,
What was that?
who the fuck knows? But I know how we've been talking about Becky Lynch coming back and costing Liv Morgan the Elimination Chamber. You know, it'd be even better. Jade come back, cost Naomi and Bianca the Elimination Chamber. I don't see that happening, but at the same time, it could, and that'd be fucking awesome.
But then we get a thing with, this was great. I love this. And this gets to a part in which I'm really sickened by. And I'll explain it in a minute because I didn't write it down because I didn't want to spoil it for you guys. But Trish and Tiffy are like, yeah, how about we do this again at Elimination Chamber? We take on Nia and Candice. And Tiffy's like, yes, 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 yes. Trishy and Tiffy time, which I thought was great.
Oh, it was good.
But here's my problem with what is being said. Which I know we just got all this up here, but everybody's saying this is the final nail for Charlotte's heel.
I even said that last night. Like they're making Tiffy a face in this instance. Once again, I feel like she was walking that middle road so well.
Yeah, and Charlotte, I legit want to see her as a face.
Yeah.
I will cheer her. Do not get me wrong. Charlotte's fantastic in that ring. When she is on, she is on.
Mm-hmm.
But yet, in the same breath, I need a Charlotte face.
Yeah, I would love to see that. And we literally got that when she came back. She came back as a face.
And then WWE, y'all booing her. We'll just go ahead and.
Yeah, it's.
It's really.
I really hope they don't, but.
And then you had.
Then you have Drew and Jimmy backstage, and Drew is calling Jimmy Jay over and over again.
You'll never be as good as your brother.
Yeah, wouldn't it have been great, two brothers fighting for the titles at WrestleMania? Obviously that's not going to happen because I qualified for the Elimination Chamber, blah, 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 blah. And then Jimmy walks away and then just no, fuck.
He's like, Priest, or,
Drew's like, is it something I said?
Jay,
and then...
Is it something I said, Jay? And
he goes, boom!
He's like, oh, wait, sorry, boom! Like, he did it on purpose.
Oh.
And we all know, because that was the whole thing last week.
Yeah. Gets his teeth kicked in.
But then we had the match.
Wait, you said next week Jimmy versus Drew. Is that official?
They announced that, yep.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But then we have the match. We have
Priest versus Jacob versus Strowman.
Braun Strowman.
Which, honestly, wasn't as good as I was hoping it would be. Don't get me wrong. It was good, but it wasn't great. And once again, maybe a 15-minute main event. Maybe.
Yeah.
We had by the time we got done with this Jimmy and Drew stuff, we had 30 minutes. 30 minutes left, but then we actually no.
We had like 20.
Yeah. After the Charlotte thing, I believe it was. We had 30 minutes. But then we had the Nick stuff, and then we had the Trishy and Tiffy stuff, and then we had the Drew stuff. And then we had commercials, and them walking down the ring. So by the time the actual match started, we had like 13 minutes at best. 15 minutes, maybe. But Braun gets not taken out, but thrown out in the first minute or two.
Yeah.
So it's Priest and Jacob going at it.
And that was pretty good.
Yeah. But then Braun gets back into the ring, launches them both outside, and then we come back, they start tussling outside, and I believe it's Braun tosses Priest, or no, Jacob tosses Priest over the announce table. Strowman grabs him, tosses him back into the ring, and is about to get his get back. He's about to get it back in blood, as they like to say nowadays. But then Solo shows up, and Samoan spikes him.
The second before he showed up, what I say?
Oh, Solo's gonna be... I'm not even kidding. Literally a second. Not exaggerating. A second before he shows up. CK over is like, oh, Solo's gonna show up. And then, boom, he's there.
I even said, I didn't see nothing, haven't read any rumor, nothing.
Yeah.
You could hear it.
Yeah. But Solo shows up, spikes Strowman in the chest, and then obviously Cody comes out, maybe 5 seconds later, comes out, they start brawling outside of the ring.
He hits Priest with the spike. Solo hit Priest with a spike.
I thought it was Strowman. He hits somebody with a spike, and then Cody comes out. They start brawling outside of the ring. Tama jumps in, starts beating up Cody, and then he grabs Cody and is holding him up for Solo to deliver the spike. And I called this. Cody ducks out of the way. Solo hits Tama, drops him to the ground, and then Jacob gets out of the ring and gets up in his face,
rips his shirt off.
Yeah, and is ready to whoop his ass. I mean, he's ready to whoop everybody's ass, but you get the point.
And then Priest pushes him into Solo.
Yeah, and then Cody hits Solo with the what's it called? The Crossroads, I believe.
Yeah.
With the Crossroads out on the mat. And then the match ends with Priest and Strowman in the ring, South of Heaven to Strowman, 1, 2, 3, Priest is in the chamber.
Which this was the really cool part. Is after the match, Cody crawls into the ring, and they like do their whole handshake. Here's the interesting part, and this is something a lot of people brought up online.
Mm-hmm.
You have Priest and Cody in the ring, shaking hands. Those were our two champions walking out of WrestleMania 40.
Is that last year?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it was just kind of an interesting little fact.
Mm-hmm.
So I am not sure. I didn't get a chance to look it up. I do believe it's Seth and Finn.
Yes. Is the last match.
Is the last match. But we have Damian Priest, Logan Paul. Yay, Logan Paul. Anyway.
John Cena.
Yay, John Cena.
CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. And then either Seth Rollins. It's going to be fucking Seth Rollins. I would be extremely, extremely surprised if Finn Balor wins that match. Because here's the thing. He's going to have help from the Judgment Day, but is he going to have help from the Judgment Day?
Fair enough. Like, right now, again, like we have been saying, we have said 1,000... Yeah, exactly. There's 1,000 cracks.
Yeah, like he was talking about, like, last week.
But I would want to see... I don't think Priest is going to win. And the reason I don't think
you mean
Priest...
Balor?
Or Balor, yeah. The reason I don't think Balor is going to win is because those cracks need to get way worse before we even attempt to get them better. And Balor needs to lose. And I know it sounds bad because I am not a fan of Judgment Day.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Liv, Dom, and Raquel don't need anybody.
I agree, but here's my thing. I think Finn's going to lose. The cracks are only going to get wider.
Yep.
And I think we talked vaguely about this. I know you were talking about that Rey Mysterio wants to retire, wants to give Dominic his mask.
That's the story. Anyway.
So I think what would be really interesting is if Finn loses, the cracks get wider and wider, and maybe it takes until Elimination Chamber, maybe it takes until
Mania or
after. Judgment Day splinters into a million pieces. Finn goes on his own. Apple Boy gets left in the dust because I don't see them doing anything with him. I mean, maybe he's a great wrestler. Maybe he's the next...
Let me tell you this. Being a little more old school than you, Carlito was great. Mm-hmm. He was good as a face, but his heel persona was A+.
And now he's just a high-paid jobber.
Is he even a jobber?
He eats apples and sometimes gets beat up, so I'd qualify that as a high-paid, part-time, apple-eating jobber. How about that?
I'll go with that.
But anyway, Finn goes on his own. Carlito goes off on his own. Raquel and Liv go off on their own. And Dominic is left here floundering like a little goldfish in a fucking tsunami. And he has to figure his shit out. And maybe...
He calls for Daddy.
Yeah. He calls for Dad and he's like, Dad, I fucked up. I've made some terrible decisions. You know what would be really funny? It could be like a several week or like month long process of him going like he tries to go back to Rhea. He tries to go back to Priest. None of it works. So eventually he winds up at LWO's doorstep and he's like, Dad, I fucked up. Will you help me? And that's how they start the whole, Ray retiring, giving his mask over to Dominic, and then Dominic going off to be the next Rey Mysterio. He's not going to take up the Rey Mysterio title.
No, the rumor is WWE has, at least last year, whatever, I don't know if it's still a thing, but Prince Mysterio.
I like that.
Because he would be the third
Mm-hmm.
Rey Mysterio because, well, Rey Mysterio isn't even Rey Mysterio's name. He was given the Rey Mysterio by his uncle,
Mm-hmm.
who he retired and gave his match to.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the kind of thing that they're, but they don't. WWE doesn't want to do a Rey Mysterio
I get that.
third.
Yeah.
They don't think that sounds right, which I agree with that.
Yeah, Prince.
But
I think Prince Mysterio honestly sounds great. Like genuinely, that's a great name. I would love to see Dominic go off and be Prince Mysterio. I think he could do great. Because we even said like when he was going against Damian Priest, he was getting his ass whooped, but he was doing really well.
Yeah, he's a good wrestler. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. Like, Dom is still
Rey Mysterio's son.
and being trained by Rey on a daily. When I say daily, I don't mean daily. I mean
He's being
on a regular basis.
Yeah, he's still being trained by Rey Mysterio. Like he is probably, I'm not gonna say just as good, but just as good as Rey Mysterio.
I say give him a couple years, but yeah, you're right. He is definitely in line to be on that same level.
If
in
even
20, 30 years, is he going to be another Rey Mysterio? 100%.
Yeah, and once again, I know we've said this, but I know you're not a fan of John Cena. But the idea of I'm not gonna become 17 for the sake of becoming 17. I'm gonna become 17 so that I can someday shake the hand of 18. I feel like that's gonna be the same thing with Prince Mysterio. Rey Mysterio wants his son to go on to not be his son, but to become even better than he was.
Yeah.
And I want to see that so fucking bad.
And I think the day all the boos would stop, the day he walked back up to Rey and was like we said, Dad, I fucked up.
Yeah.
My life is shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I screwed over Rhea. I fucked up with Liv. The Judgment Day threw me aside. I don't know what to do with myself. And I think
I tried to make it. I tried to even go back and talk to, Priest, and I tried to talk to Rhea again, and I tried to do all this stuff, and I need you.
Yeah, I need you. And I think the day, and here I think I don't know if it would be, because I'm thinking of how like handing the mask over would work. Would it be a case of?
Well, okay, as far as I've seen and understand, in Lucha Libre, when you officially sign off, this is your final match.
Mm-hmm.
It is a mask versus mask match.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
If it is not a mask versus mask, it is who wins gets the mask.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of talk that Rey wants
Dominic to be his last match.
be his last match.
I would fucking love that.
And
I
that
would too.
when Dom wins it, there's gonna be the whole ceremony thing. We've all seen Rey's face if you look up old WCW stuff, which was a whole thing with being a masked wrestler. You're not allowed to put back on the mask type thing ever.
Mm-hmm.
He had to get permission, and I know that sounds crazy, but they are super strict when it comes to the rules of Lucha Libre.
Mm-hmm.
Strict.
Yeah.
And he had to fight to get his mask back.
Mm-hmm.
And they told him that if you ever lose that mask again, which is a thing for them,
Yeah.
they can have mask matches.
And lose, yeah.
If you ever lose that mask again, you're done. And there is talk that Rey wants that to be his final match against Dom.
And lose it.
And lose it and pass it to Dom. And Dom put it on and that become Dom's mask. And he takes on the name I am no longer Dominic Mysterio. I'm
Prin-
not Rey Mysterio. I am Prince Mysterio.
I would have. I want to see that so bad. I would.
And that was the rumor for a while, and then they kind of took the whole Judgment Day route, and I hope they kind of
I feel like
circle
that.
back
Yes.
to that.
And honestly, my opinion, I'm not gonna say that's what they've been leading towards, but that's what they've been leading towards. Because here's the thing: if he had just come on as Rey Mysterio's son, and then been a lucha libre whatever, and then gone on to beat Rey Mysterio, that would have been great. That would have been wonderful. But this, once again, as we say, this is such a better story. He goes off. He
I
basically
can do it all by myself. I don't need you.
Yeah.
You're not even really my father.
Yeah, you're
blah,
not
blah.
you're not that good. Blah 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 blah.
Until he realizes, holy crap, my dad is the fucking
Yeah, I need my dad. Yeah.
my dad's the bar. Yeah, 100%. I agree. Well, we've got like 45 minutes,
Yeah.
so we're gonna try to run through this last bit because we get sidetracked.
Yeah.
Anyway, rumors and storylines, new developments, potential matches, all that stuff. I kind of just started throwing them all in here. The story is they are working on storylines for Aleister Black, Rey Mysterio. And they want them very, very soon. Maybe even at Elimination Chamber, if one, not both.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get into another one here later. Which actually is the one after this next one. Kind of start with it. Josh Alexander from TNA has been confirmed a free agent as of February 15th, which technically be the day that this actually airs. So the rumor is he's going to AEW, but WWE is very much like talking.
Yeah, they're talking to everybody right now.
Like, because supposedly Josh Alexander, and like you said, we are going to start watching TNA because that is in my brain, and I think theirs, with the new promotion with them and WWE, we're going to kind of lead those into the WWE stuff because they're kind of crossing them back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to start watching those. And we're just going to start doing those day ones. We're going to kind of learn the characters as best we can. You're going to watch our development of the characters, how we perceive them day ones, whatever. We're just going to go gung-ho at it rather than trying to wait and figure out the storylines. Rumor is Miro, Rusev, whatever, is going to NXT.
And Black is going to main roster. Rusev doesn't need. He was already in the main.
Here's the thing, and this is where they're coming with this, and I kind of see it. You can't have. This is what they're saying. I kind of see it, but I don't see it. They don't want him to come back as Rusev, which I disagree with. But again, they're saying that even if he comes back as Rusev, are people going to care? Are people going to remember?
That's true. That's fair.
So if you bring him on NXT, even if it's for
a month or two,
a couple months, whatever, and then you put him back on the main roster, you build him back up to throw him on the main roster. Black is needed on the main roster because I think there's going to start. This is something people are talking about. Triple H kind of wanted to distance himself from the
Lucha Libre
Supernatural.
Yeah.
And you've now got the Wyatts. You've got Alexa back. You've got, which we're going to get into this Aleister Black story, who's always been the Supernatural.
Yeah.
That is he going to have to start leaning more into the supernatural, the appearing in the middle of the ring and disappearing.
Yeah, it's a story. Like
I think we need Black being Black. I think we need the mysticism.
Yeah.
Is that the word I'm looking for?
Yeah.
The supernatural. I think I want that because we need those characters. and this might sound really, really bad, and this might be a little off subject, but it's really not. Who is probably one of the greatest wrestlers of all time?
We've said this before. It's The Undertaker, and
look at what he did.
yeah,
I mean, bong, lights go out. Bong, lights come on. He's standing in the ring with his hand around their throat. Choke slam them. Bong, lights go off. Bong, lights come back on, and he's gone. They're laying there in the middle of the ring, spread eagle.
Yeah.
You know, we need that.
I love that.
Yep.
We need that fear of like, and I say this, but when like Undertaker's music hit back 10, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, whatever, when his music hit, you know those shit was gonna hit the fan.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
and shit was hitting your britches if you were in that ring.
Oh,
I mean, because he didn't
yeah.
need, you didn't need him walking down the ramp. You didn't need him coming out of the crowd. You didn't need to see him up there. Because there was countless times they heard that bong, and it'd take them lights a little bit to turn off, and they'd be like,
Yeah.
and then, bong, the lights go off.
And he's just right, and he's behind them.
Yeah, and they come back on, and they're like, and boom.
And then, boom, and then he's gone again. Yeah.
You need that. I
Yeah.
want that.
I do
That
too.
is when WWE, I'm sorry, you can disagree, you can agree, whatever it is. That is when WWE was gold.
Yep, exactly.
And you need to bring that nostalgia back. And if, I'm not saying
Yep,
Black needs to be an
exactly.
Undertaker by no stretch. Undertaker is a one of a kind.
Yeah.
But we need that, you never know when, you never know where, you never know how. Black is showing up.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And he's gonna fuck you up.
Yep.
But
Exactly.
I mean, you know, you can have him in that ring, and you have his music hit, and the lights go out, the lights come on, and all you see is that black mass kick, kicking them right square in their face. They drop, the lights go off, lights come back on, and Black's gone.
Mm-hmm.
We need that.
But moving on, Jordan Grace is gonna be on NXT very soon. Could be even tonight at Vengeance Day.
A lot of people are saying it's going to be tonight at Vengeance Day. She's going to cost either, or not cost, but interfere in one of the championships, because they want her as a champion like quick,
Yeah.
so they can instantly elevate her. She can lose the title, whatever,
And move to the main roster.
and move to the main roster. They're more or less saying, let's build you into something here, get you your own.
So people know you, and then go the fuck up to where you need to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I understand that. I might disagree with it, but I do understand it.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing too is Evolve, which we are going to start covering day one,
Yes.
which is not till March 16th.
Yeah.
Which Sunday we are going to start covering LFG. So make sure you're watching A&E for LFG. And I think we said it's got 7 or 8 episodes. We're going to cover all of them.
Mm-hmm.
We might not always cover them the day after. We're going to try. But I'm going to let him talk about that in a few minutes.
Yeah, we got a lot of shit to do.
Well,
One.
I didn't want to... It was me trying to split stuff up.
Yeah, no, I've just been an asshole.
You know, that's normal. Okay, so here's Vengeance Day, which we literally have in like 35 minutes. The pre-show starts, so we're going to try to run through this as fast as possible. We have Trick Williams versus Eddie Thorpe in a strap match.
I don't see Eddie winning that. I'm sorry. Here's the thing. Eddie's probably a great wrestler, but he's going up against like
Here's the thing too, and let me say this: Trick Williams, you're right, is a great wrestler. Trick is going to the main roster.
yeah.
Like, he is walking out. Do we have him? But if we keep this going for another couple months, which is what everybody's thinking, because putting him in now, there's really not going to be anything for him until Mania, at least.
Until after Mania.
Until after Mania, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
So keeping him here and keeping the storyline going we could have 2 or 3 matches in there. Maybe Eddie wins. But right now, putting him on the main roster, he's just going to get lost before Mania.
That's true. He doesn't have anywhere to put himself in. No stories.
Which is why I think Perez is moving up now.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think they're putting her in Elimination Chamber.
I could see that.
And then they do have at least a potential storyline leading into Mania for her.
Yeah, whether it's against Liv and Raquel or whoever,
Yeah.
Bailey. Probably.
Which I think is going to be Bailey.
Yeah, considering they've been beefing for weeks now.
But you're going to turn that to the main roster.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have, and this isn't an order. This is simply just a rundown. This is Wrestling Days rundown of the matches. I kind of have my own opinions in here, but I have his rundown of all the matches. I could have looked this up myself, but it was just easier because I was watching his stuff. But anyway, you have the Women's Championship title match, which is Julia versus Bailey versus Perez, Roxanne Perez versus Cora Jade.
It's not going to be Bailey or Perez. That's just obvious.
Yeah, Bailey is main roster already.
Yeah.
Perez is moving up to the main roster. Again, the only reason I see it being Perez maybe is if they truly just don't have anything for her.
Just keep her out here until after Mania, then ever lose it and go up, whatever.
Yeah, but I don't see her doing that because she does have a match come Monday on
the main roster.
On the main roster. So I don't see her winning that.
No.
So that leaves Julia and Cora Jade, which again, I think Julia retains.
Oh yeah. I don't see her losing the title, honestly.
She really just got it.
Yeah. And they don't usually have people. I'd say they usually have at least a month, and she might have been having it a bit longer than that. But like,
I think Julia's really just now coming under her own from what I've seen.
Yeah.
And she is really, really good. Then you have, and I'm gonna call this because I absolutely love her. You have Fallon Henley versus Stephanie Vacure.
Stephanie Vacure.
I love Stephanie.
Oh yeah, she's great.
She is amazing in that ring. She is a phenomenal talent. Fallon, I've seen her wrestle maybe once or twice. She's another one of those champions that the short time we've been watching, I've maybe seen her wrestle once, maybe twice.
Yeah, she defends maybe once a month, if that.
And she's always got her little cronies to help her. So
another, I can't even be bothered remembering her name. The greatest United States, Chelsea Green. That's it.
That is the greatest United.
Stop talking to me.
That is the greatest.
Stop
United
talking.
States.
No, stop talking to me.
We're off track.
Yeah. Anyway.
But if no outside help, 100% Stephanie.
Oh yeah.
100%.
And then we have Javon versus Ethan. Javon's been cleared, but
not cleared.
Cleared enough to be in a match.
But what I'm saying is
he had to sign a waiver.
Even the doctor,
yeah,
if that's what we're calling it, is like,
yeah,
I do not advise this. This could be career ending for you. You could shatter your jaw. That will not be.
Yeah, you're not gonna be able to fix it. Obviously, it's all storyline. His jaw was never hurt, but for the sake of the story, he's winning. My opinion. He has to win this, because if he doesn't, Ethan Page would shatter his jaw and his career will be over.
I'm going to say that what a lot of people are saying is Ethan Page wins for the simple fact that they're really pushing him. And Javon's not going up to the main roster, at least not immediately. But he definitely is one that the main roster is looking at, but supposedly, like, really highly.
But once again, how do you have Ethan Page win without ending Javon's career? Because he's made that an entire point. Like, every match he's been in since then, he's purposefully been trying to hurt people.
Yeah. I don't know. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah,
and like I said, tomorrow, we're going to talk about that here in a few minutes. We're going to get to tomorrow. Tomorrow's, like I said, schedule's changing. We're going to be doing things a little bit different. We have. I love how this my spell corrects are freaking great.
Fraxium versus Briggs and Inamura.
Inuhara. Or
Inuhara.
I don't know. I don't remember how they pronounce it. It's Japanese or
Yeah.
Chinese, whatever. it is.
Inihara, or whatever the fuck you just said.
But
Fraxian retained, like you said in the note. Like Fraxian retains. I don't see them. They've been like they are. They've been.
they are one of the greatest NXT tag teams
Yeah.
they've had in a while, and
They
everybody
could honestly be great on the main roster.
probably. But there's also been a lot of tension supposedly between the two of them, and I haven't seen it. But
Well,
there is talk that we do have a lot of potential. And here's one thing, and I'm gonna throw this in there real quick. But we do have people are saying that right now in TNA, they have been struggling with the Hardys. The Hardys could show up
yeah.
because we're doing the whole TNA thing, and they are in TNA. So there's talk that we're going to get a lot of TNA people in here tonight. I mean, not a lot. When I say a lot, I
Like
don't mean
one or two.
Yeah.
But yeah, then we have the triple threat. This is honestly gonna be my favorite match. Austin Theory versus Grayson Waller versus Obafemi. And here's the thing. Last week, they played their cards 100% perfectly.
But were they playing the cards?
That's the beautiful thing. You have no idea. Because it seemed like so many times they were going to, they were like, you going to hit me? We're going to do this? And then he ducks underneath and he ends up punching Obafemi in the face. And at the end of it, and once again, I feel like it's Obafemi retains. There's no chance in hell either of them win the NXT title. Just flat out.
Again, the only reason I see them maybe winning, and I think Obafemi retains.
100%.
100%. But the only way one of them win is, again,
If Obi goes up.
if it falls back to what do they have planned for them until Mania, or even a little bit after.
Yeah.
Because if there's really nothing for them, NXT, putting a little bit of the main roster, is only going to help promote NXT.
That's true.
So if you make one of them a champion, is it going to hurt? No. It's probably going to raise them up a little bit.
That's true, but at the same time,
But
I
I
don't
don't see Obafemi...
No. Obafemi just got his title, and he deserves so much better than that. Like, if I was Obafemi...
These two are idiots.
Yeah.
Okay?
And don't get me wrong. They're good wrestlers, but Obafemi, like we've said... I'm pretty sure we even talked about it. If in a few years, Obafemi could potentially be on Gunther's level. Like, I'm pretty sure we had this conversation.
Yeah.
Like, he is,
Yep,
he's a
exactly.
big guy. He's powerful, but he's also athletic. He's agile. He's fast. Like, he is the whole package. I don't see him losing. Oh yeah, you said there was a new group.
Remember you keep seeing them in the shadows.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they'll do the glitches, kind of like they did for the Wyatts. But they're supposed to be showing up tonight because everything is said Vengeance Day, Vengeance Day, Vengeance Day.
Mm-hmm.
Some people are even saying Ricky Starks is in it. Then maybe Josh Alexander is in the group. But a lot of people think they already know, and they're old NXT stars that are kind of coming back repackaged, which I totally see.
Yeah, I think that would make.
Okay. And I didn't put their names in here because I know I wouldn't even know who they were. I mean, I'm sure somebody maybe watching this does. But, the thing is, Ricky Starks, does he even show up?
I don't think maybe, but at the same time, like,
I mean, they had him last Tuesday.
yeah, but he was just kind of like there. He didn't do anything. I don't know. I don't know him, so I don't know what he does or who he is. So I have no idea, honestly. But I think that's about it for us. We gotta get ready
Yep.
for Vengeance Day in like 20-ish minutes. So
Yep.
unless either of you got anything to add.
I don't have
Nope.
anything to add, but we are going to cover this like for the next 5 minutes or so, if that. Like I said before, the schedule is changing. Tafari over here is working out, well, a couple days a week, but going to the gym and doing kickboxing on Tuesdays and Thursday nights. So our schedules are changing for that.
Yeah. We don't have we kind of have an official schedule, but we haven't made it official yet. I think we said we're waiting till March, right?
Well, we're gonna change it, but like I said, it's gonna go official in March. We're probably gonna put it up in the next probably tomorrow.
Yeah,
up
works.
on there. But there's like I said, we feel more comfortable. We love playing our games, but we're going to have some days. We said we're going to have Wednesday, which Wednesday will stay 100% the same. It'll be our screw off day, if that's what you want to call it.
Yeah.
We don't always know what's going to happen. We might not always do food. In fact, we're probably not always going to do food.
Just talking about comics or movies or whatever,
Yeah. But we are going to have, here's kind of our thought. We're scheduled D&D on Sunday, Tafari.
Yeah.
Which he does not have anything tomorrow.
So we're just going to throw some shit at the wall.
We're going to get on here probably around between 2 and 3 somewhere, and see what happens.
Yeah, just have fun, really.
Maybe bring up, Vengeance Day, the stuff that happened, and then run through anything else we got. If it takes us 3 hours to BS, we're gonna
BS for 3 hours. But
Tuesdays, if we don't have anything Tuesday night, come about 7 o'clock. We're gonna jump on for at least 2 hours, and
Wednesday.
Wednesday, yeah.
Yeah, if we don't have D&D, but
Wednesday, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
If we don't have D&D, it's going to be a pop-up one because we've already planned to do something anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So we're just going to jump on and say, okay, what do you want to talk about? What do you want to talk about? What do I want to talk about?
Yep.
And join us. You can always join us in the Discord, which we're going to start really, really focusing on. If I've got to get a banner in the background, I don't know, something.
Yeah.
But we're gonna start working on that.
That's the whole thing we'd have to work towards.
I'm gonna work on stickers probably for the back of this.
Yeah. But
I think that's gonna be it because we got now like 20 minutes.
No. So if you're here on Twitch watching us, give us a follow. If you're watching us on YouTube, subscribe, comment, like, share, all that good jazz. Check us out on Discord if you want to chat with us about NXT, Raw, Smackdown, comics, movies, video games, whatever.
Like I said, there's going to be a lot more of that content coming down the pipe because we feel that
Yep.
this is where we're comfortable.
Yeah.
Like I said, we love playing our games, but we like to talk. And the three of us, we'll sit in this front room off camera, and this is something I want you guys to be a part of. The three of us will sit in front of this camera not in front of camera for literally hours and just talk about random BS.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, exactly.
And I think that's where we're going to be the strongest. So I want you guys to hear some of that. I want you guys to be able to jump in.
Yep.
But I think that's it for us.
Yep.
My name's
Deuces,
CK.
everybody.
My name's CK.
I'm Tofari.
Night Riders.
And we'll
Safe.
see you
Night
next
Riders and
time.
Deuces.